Hey Ashley, I just watched your video. Great job. I want to reach out and tell you that I also appreciate everything that you've done with our group this go around, and acknowledging that we're wrapping up our um, time in this class and that school's about to start. And I know that you are back. I'm back as well, and getting back into the routine, it's a big shock, and I'm pretty tired too, but we're all in this together. I just appreciate your kind words. It really means a lot. I think you're just an incredible person, and you have a lot to offer, and I've learned so much from you, and the way you're able to look at different scenarios. I've mentioned this before, I'm sure, and really explain it in a way that's really easy to follow. And that has to do probably with the amazing educator that you are. I love how you mentioned about the mobile. That's not something that I really put a lot of thought into. But the way that you explained it really helped me, and the different pictures and everything's in a circular motion working together, and depending on what happens, one thing could completely destroy or mess up something else. And I'll get a little bit personal and vulnerable with you. I think that my family, well, my sister and I are the only ones left. Our parents passed away, but we lost our dad last year, and my sister and I have really grown apart since he died. They got into a really big argument before it happened, and it just didn't end well, and that really shook up our circle. And it's unfortunate that he had to pass away, and it's unfortunate that the baggage that we are left with is what it is. But I feel like we really could have benefited from this approach. And so when you were explaining that, I tied it into, personally, yeah, it really shook her, and the aftermath of that, it's still lingering, and it really breaks my heart. I'm hoping that one day we can set aside our differences and move on, because life is too short. But thank you for bringing that up, and thank you for listening. If you didn't really have a choice, you could have stopped the video, but your sense of humor too, I have to say, like, you're so funny. When you were talking about feeling old, being 50, you just cracked me up, because you didn't mean it like that. But anyways, I was giggling at you. Okay, let's get back on track here. I agree with you on the dynamics of the family. Something I noticed too is the mom was sitting farther away from Pam, and the dad was closer. I mean, we can assume that it's the dad, like you said, but he didn't speak much, right? And I like how you brought up the therapist, suggesting that maybe she needs to ask Pam before she really wants to hear her mother's opinion. Something that I did notice too, the self-esteem, it talks about self-esteem, and really just like the overall dynamic of that family. I feel like they were lacking the self-esteem, and I could tell with Pam, it was really sad. And another thing I noticed too is the therapist mentioned, well, when she's on her own, she's fine, but when she gets home, she is different. And the point that you brought up, maybe mom has control over her, I can really see that now. And so that's making my wheels turn, and it's making me think. Absolutely. that mom has a pretty strong grip on her. And the dad doesn't say anything at all. I think he was just along for the ride. Or the computer, the way the text explains it. I loved your idea about applying it in the school and talking about the helicopter parent. Really, that's what I thought of. I don't even know if my example made sense, but you got a child that's GT, they have other interests, the parent doesn't agree, but your example was spot on. And recognizing the behaviors that the student might have, either they're going to push away or be scared and not push away, but then behaviors might surface. So really, if this is a theory that you're considering doing, or if anyone is, that right there is a great example, because it could actually happen, and it does happen in the classroom. But anyways, again, I just wish you the best. I know this class isn't over, but I appreciate your collaborative efforts and your input, and you're amazing, and you're going to be an amazing counselor. So I wish you all the best, and I look forward to hearing from you soon. Bye, Ashley.